Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome into the channel. I know it's weird. It's Tuesday night. I'm doing a live show, trying to make up for last week. It was Thursday, Thanksgiving, of course. So there was no live show, but your channel is tuned in to the show. It is the right time and date, so no need to turn that knob. But tonight's a special live show because I do have guests I'm going to bring into the chat in just a moment, but also because tonight is something that I've been asked about and for probably the better part of the last year to 2 years. It is an inventory management and bookkeeping accounting program, and it is going to hopefully help all of you that struggle with numbers and all of you that have asked me for a way to track your inventory, especially those of you that do individual items. This one is Excel spreadsheet based, and we're going to go over some of the requirements and some of the features. I'm going to show you guys what's inside. If you decide to use this program, there's a complete hour-long tutorial video that will walk you through any steps that you need. So welcome into everybody. I've been working with the two creators, owners of this, Paul and Faith, for probably a little over a month now, maybe a month and a half. We put a lot of work into it. I know they have, and hopefully you guys appreciate it. So I want to bring them on, and then what we're going to do is I'm going to share my screen. I'll show you guys what it is, how it works, what it can do for you. It's going to track inventory, sales, expenses, all different things. In fact, it can even adjust to put in sales tax. So we'll show you all of that. And then if you have questions, comments, or concerns, you can ask and we'll answer as many as we can. I have about an hour to spend with you guys, give or take. And if you decide this is for you, the link is directly below, along with the customer support email directly to them. So this is probably the number one thing that people ask for. Correct, Dave? Let's go ahead without further ado. I'm going to bring them on. This is Paul and Faith. They are the creators and owners of My Reseller Genie. If you didn't see the name there, let's bring them on. There they are.
Hey guys.
Hey everyone, I'm Paul. I'm Faith.
I'm Faith.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say I was gonna introduce which one was which, but I think they got it. No, look guys, these two are the two amazing people that have brought us this. Faith messaged me on Instagram probably about 6 weeks ago, maybe ish, give or take, and it was probably the worst timing ever. I was the worst responder ever because of the whole house, and we had to get up and leave our house every day. But we got it done, and it's ready, and we wanted to bring it to everybody because what better time? It's the last month of the year, right? Everyone's going to want to be on the right foot for New Year's. So if you struggled through 2020, as if I have to say that, you can get it right for 2021. So music to my ears. I'm reading the chat already, Paul, and I told him on day one, I said, you'll never believe how many emails and messages in my inbox come through. I remember I told you that.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to see it when we do live shows and chats. And so how many of people, just show them in the chat, how many people need an inventory tracking program or don't use anything at all? How many, be honest, don't lie to me. I'm not going to turn you in, I promise. How many people in the chat don't have anything at all or barely anything? I want to see it over there in the chat. So what I'm going to do is pull up this side-by-side screen while we wait for everybody to respond to that. Let's see where the screen share is. And I'm going to bring up the first of a series of screenshots I took. These come directly from the YouTube tutorial video that you will get when you purchase My Reseller Genie. And we'll get into the details of that in just a second. And this is what me and Paul recorded last week, and I got up for you. You'll receive it as part of the purchase to walk you through every step. And of course, if you missed anything, we'll have customer service for you. Mindy doesn't have one. Drac is tracking half. A lot of people saying they don't have one at all. A basic spreadsheet from Rita. So you can see, Paul, a lot of people, it's really not where they should be, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and share. Can everybody see that picture that I just shared? Give me a yes. Can you guys see it?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, perfect. Cherry pick it scares you to death and you avoid it. And Cordell's using a notebook. This stuff hurts my head a lot. I know Myra struggles with it. I created her a spreadsheet. A lot of people that are in my groups and different private things I created spreadsheets with. And I actually do it. I used to do it through Google Sheets. I still do. And I would check out on them and I'm like, you guys are not keeping up with this. But this is going to help you guys because it's going to motivate you because of everything you're going to be able to see under it. A notebook from Jack. Man, a lot of you guys use notebooks. How do you do it? Ooh. I use notebooks as like scribble pads, but I could never use it as like inventory or accounting. Oh my goodness. That scares me. Pen and paper. I've had at least 10 people say notebooks or pen and paper already. Woo. Okay, so hopefully this is a better option for you. So this is, I want to start with this right away. This is Excel based, and Paul, the requirements for this, if you don't mind, please.
Yeah, so it's Excel based. You need Excel 2019, or if you're on Microsoft 365, you would just make sure you're current, and that version of Excel that you get in Office 365 would work.
Right, yeah. And so you can do that right on the web base. You can just Google Microsoft 365 and they have options there for everyone. Cottage Conservator just said the same thing on MacBook Pro. That's what I'm on. And I have to use the web-based for Excel. So you can do that. Anything 2019 or 2020 works, right? Anything newer?
Yeah, so probably the best thing to do is just get Office 365. It's like $7 a month for an individual license, so it's not bad. And you'll have the most current Excel.
Yeah. So, yeah, the picture might be a little blurry. I apologize for that. I'll go through it for you guys. Microsoft 365, you can Google it. I'll add a link to this video afterwards. I don't have it in front of me, but I'll grab it. And that's what yes, you can use it for Windows or Mac as long as you have Microsoft 365. If Mac sells an option if you bought it for Mac Excel 2019 or newer. So if you happen to have that, you can definitely use that as well. But 365 online, best option for sure. Okay, so with that said, this is the main screen. I'm going to make it bigger. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it to be less fuzzy. StreamYard degrades the quality of any pictures or video. In fact, I was going to do a video share, but you guys know how bad it makes the lag on here. It looks really terrible. So this is the main menu of my Reseller Genie. Can you guys, when I made it bigger, does it get any better? Is it a little less blurry or no?
Yeah, I mean, a tiny bit.
Yeah.
A tiny bit. How about that?
You can see what you're looking at.
Okay. Okay. So the main screen here is when you open this up, and when you purchase My Reseller Genie, you'll get your own password and login, and again, the tutorial shows you how to get into it. But this is the screen that you'll get to everything on. Manage dashboard, the sales analysis dashboard, inventory where you can view or update it, sales where you can view and update it. Then you have update your sales platform, which I'll show you in a second. No, it's clear. Some people say it's fine and it's clear. My eyes are terrible. Don't worry, guys. There's also an update to your tax rate, which we'll show you in a second. You can get into your bank activity, which is another feature of My Reseller Genie that you guys will see in just a second. Entering your cost of goods and expenses, updating sales and inventory. This is going to import automatically currently from eBay and Poshmark. Now you can input any sales or inventory from any platform that you sell on, doesn't matter, but it will automatically do it from eBay and Poshmark. So that's really helpful. So you don't have to spend ages and ages putting in all that data that you already have. And then going forward, once you import it, you'll be caught up. We also have the record tax payments, which it keeps track of your estimated taxes due. And if you make any payments, it will calculate and offset that for you. So that is the first picture. Let me go ahead and close that one. And I'm going to open up the second one that I have here, which was not cooperating. Hang on. Come on. Okay, the second picture here is once you get into the screen. Oh, not sharing. Yeah, gotcha. Somebody create a better program for YouTube live streams. That's what I need, just in case anybody's wondering. Share. Okay, there we go. All right, so this one is the main screen when you click on the inventory and sales upload tab. So as you can see, this one is blank and it's before any of the uploads that Paul did. We started fresh, and in the tutorial, you'll see how to take your inventory from either one of those platforms and automatically input them into the system, and it just takes a few minutes. It's literally very quick. Again, you'll see that we did it in real time on it. We didn't edit that out, and it was like seconds. So, and then I want to show you guys this picture, which is the exact screen that I'm talking about when you do the import. This is importing from Poshmark, I believe. All you'll do is select your Poshmark inventory screen right here, and you'll click it, and it uploads that inventory directly into the program. Everything that you have currently on Posh, all the way, is there any limit to how much it can upload? Because some people have thousands of items.
So we haven't run into any limits yet. I mean, if someone does hit a limit, let us know. Well, the way you get around it is by just breaking the report up into like 2 reports. So there might be an import limit that we haven't hit yet, but there isn't a limit in my Reseller Genie.
Perfect. Yeah. So it should, I saw a few of you asking if you had a couple thousand listings. Absolutely. It should be no problem. And it shouldn't have, I know most of you have between like 500 and 1,000. I know a few of you with 3,000 and 4,000, 5,000 should be no problem. So this is the screen after you do the import, and you guys can see, and this was literally seconds later, current inventory. And it's going to be blurry. You're not going to be able to read it, but I'll just tell you what the lines say. And this will not be blurry in the live video. I've already gone over it when you are in the tutorial video. It says enter new item, remove inventory item. So you can manually enter or manually remove an item. You can update the inventory item. Like let's say you accidentally put a sweater in as men's and it turns out it's a woman's sweater and you got to go back and update it. Yes, I've done that mistake. Please believe me, a lot. And then you have all of your categories underneath. You have an item ID, which is an internal Reseller Genie item ID. You'll have a purchase date, which when you upload me and Paul talked about this, when you upload your inventory initially, it's gonna, that purchase date, or excuse me, when you update it manually going forward, you're gonna put in the date that you purchased it. But if it is stuff that's coming from before, obviously it's gonna pull down, is it for Posh, the date that you listed it?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So it'll pull the date that you actually listed it. So again, it'll talk about all this in the tutorial, but you'll be able to see all this, which is very cool. And for all of you that like to sort your data by, how long you've had items, Reseller Genie is perfect for that. And then we have obviously the title, what the item is, the department, women's, men's, kids. We have category, subcategory, and brand. So you're literally going to be able to see every single category, subcategory, and brand that you have, and you can sort by that. So you can see, oh, I have 25 LuLaRoe women's tops. And then you have a SKU line, because I know a lot of you choose to put your inventory in bins or shelves by SKU lines or custom IDs. And so that is available as well. And that's what all the lines are there. And so this is, somebody said they're currently using Excel, but this is Excel based. So all of you that use Excel, this should look exactly like what you're used to, except you have buttons and macros that allow you to click and jump between the menus very, very easily and cleanly. Let me see what the question, I had a couple questions come in. Oh, okay, I got it. No limit on Poshmark. Yeah, perfect. So there's no limit here for that. If there's any issues, just please let us know, but it shouldn't be. I don't think anybody has more than 10,000 that I can think of off the top of my head. I would doubt it would have a problem with less than that. So that's that screen share. And this is what your inventory will look like once you have it upload. Is the SKU carried in, Paul?
Yeah, so if you have a SKU in the Poshmark report, it'll pull that over.
Yep, everything that you see here, which I know it's hard to see, and thank you StreamYard for amazing quality, sorry, but it's all carried in. Brand, category, subcategory, SKU, and obviously the title, and it's gonna pull in your listing date as the purchase date. So once you get into it, you'll see all that, and this should be everything, at least in Poshmark, that you have to worry about. Now eBay is a little bit different. I didn't pull that over because it is different than Poshmark. And it's going to pull over the item and it's going to pull over the department. And tell me what else, because I'm not looking at it in front of me, Paul, that it pulls over for eBay.
Yeah, so for eBay, you'll get department, category, subcategory, item title, and I'm pretty sure that's all the information that the eBay reports give you. So you'd have to put in a purchase date, which you could, like, if you wanted to go back and put in a whole bunch of purchase dates, for when you actually bought the things, you could do that, or you could just set an arbitrary date and say, all right, moving forward, I'll worry about accuracy, but just to get me started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are the platforms separated when you upload your inventory?
No. So think about your inventory. Instead of as a seller who, you've got inventory listed on all these different platforms, think about it more as you have one piece of inventory. So even if it's listed on 3 platforms, it's just one piece of inventory.
Right. And
your inventory stays in here.
That's a mistake I see a lot of people make, actually. So where is the cost column, like what the item costs you, like when you buy it? So I'm going to show you guys that in just a second. There's a purchase price. I'm going to show you all the accounting side. I just want to show you guys the import and inventory side for right now. And, somebody just asked about profit and loss. Yes. So let me get over to that screen because it seems to be what everyone wants to see. But this is your import of inventory. Your items are one item. If you have them on 3 platforms and it sells on whatever platform it sells on, when you actually put it in as a sale, you're going to see where you can choose the platform that it's sold on. So let me bounce that off and start moving on to the numbers side of the sales. So going forward, you have the same option with your sales report as you did your inventory report, where you can actually update it from all of your past sales and import it, which I'm going to show you here. Okay, so this screenshot is actually a screenshot of the import of sales. So this is a Poshmark sales report, and you'll click it and download it just like we did the inventory. And then after you do that, you're going to get to the next screen, which is going to look like this. And this is going to import all of your past sales that you've already done. And so you can see it now has a sale date. It again shows all the information, the item, department, category, subcategory, SKU. But over on the right, we now have a sale price and a shipping cost and a sales platform. And so this is all Poshmark because we inputted it from a Poshmark sales report. But if you imported this from elsewhere, then you would be able to choose the platform as you go forward with the manual input. You'll have a drop down, you'll add all of the platforms you sell on, and then you can select which one it's sold on. So since this is a Poshmark import, they all say Poshmark. Impossible to read. I can barely read it, but this is what it'll look like. Sale price, your shipping charge. Now, obviously on Poshmark, there is no shipping charge because Posh takes care of it. But if you were on eBay and charging that, then you would absolutely have that information in there. So that's what that screen looks like. Let me go to the next one, which I think is the exciting screen for everyone. So when you go to your manual input, this is the screen that everyone loves. Here, how do I input items? Is this UK and other country friendly? That's a good question.
That's a good question.
Yeah, that's a great question. Do you want to take that?
Yeah, so far, we do have some Canadians using our software. We haven't run into any issues thus far. But we are more than willing to work through those if we do run into issues. But so far, no, there's nothing that has come up.
Yeah, and if you have issues, just reach out to support because we're really we're on it. So if you have issues, we'll help you out.
Perfect. Yeah. So as you remember, if you're manually inputting later, even an automatic input, the only concern I think I would have is like the sales side where they're in Canadian dollars. It should work. In fact, if anybody in Canada gets this, I'd love to test it with you. I'll do whatever I need to do for free for you to get with you and test it with you. That way, if there are any problems, I can get it to Paul and get him to do whatever we need to do to make it, compatible. Because I have a ton of Canadian sellers that definitely watch me.
Yeah.
So somebody asked if it imports your listed price that your item is up on a platform for. The answer is no, and I'll let you guys explain why, but I have a pretty good guess. It's really not important what it's listed for. It only matters what you bought it for and what you sold it for at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, so don't worry. I know a lot of people like to kind of look at what they listed something for and then like lower the price. Honestly, the platform where you're going to have to go to edit the price anyways has that. So, if you pull up Reseller Genie, and this is part of which we'll see in a minute too, and you see that you sort your inventory by purchased oldest and you see items that are way old, you're going to want to lower the price and go into that platform anyhow. So you'll see what it's at and then you can lower it. And Reseller Genie is going to show you, oh my God, you've had that for 9 months. It's time to go. So, okay, so let's go back to that screen share that I just had. Okay, so this is the screen where you would manually input. So instead of, once you have your automatic one from your sales reports, let's say you do that tonight and then tomorrow you go out and buy some items. So this one gives you, item description, department, category, subcategory, brand, and then purchase price, purchase date, SKU, and location. And so you can input all of your stuff here if you buy items individually and want to do that. You can also come back and edit this inventory, and how to edit an item is in the tutorial as well. Paul, if there's anything you want to add in that I'm skipping or missing, please just like talk over me, please.
Okay, cool.
Make sure I don't miss anything. Can you upload an Excel sheet into the program?
Yeah, that's a great question. Short answer is yes. And reach out to us and we'll show you how to do it.
Yeah. So if you currently are using your own Excel sheet, it's probably going to take a little tweaking depending on how you have your rows and columns set up. Paul can probably look at it really quick. So let's move on to the next screen share. Okay, another feature of my Reseller Genie is the financial periods that you can add in here. And so again, this might be a tad bit blurry, but as we go down it, basically he's added periods in months. So like 01/2020 is January 2020, February, March, so on and so forth. And this will give you a total of your inventory balance, which is the first little column coming down there. And that tells you exactly how much you have in inventory. For example, you buy a $20 shirt today and that's all you input, and you come to this screen, it's going to show that you have a $20 inventory balance because you spent $20 on that shirt. At the point that you sell that shirt, it will move it over into solds and it will remove it from the inventory cost on hand. Meaning if you sell that shirt next week and you haven't bought anything else, your inventory will go down to zero. It will remove that from that balance. So how do you account for bulk purchases as far as the purchase price goes? And that's a good question I get a lot too. It's going to be up to you how you do it. A lot of people don't like breaking items down. Like if you buy a pallet of 200 shirts and inputting 200 items, no matter what process or program you use, be it QuickBooks, be it Excel, be it My Reseller Genie, whatever you choose to use, you're going to have to manually input that. They don't know. So a lot of people do cost averaging and just put it in as one purchase of 200 items, which is perfectly fine because honestly, you could put it into My Reseller Genie as one transaction, label it, and then when you sell items individually, you're going to input those items as individual sales. So it would still do the accounting correctly, I think. Yeah, it would. It would be fine. So is it possible to use a scanner to upload, to scan inventory in?
No, we haven't interacted with that. Although if you reach out to us, I'd be interested in talking to you and hearing more about what you're thinking.
Yeah.
If we can integrate that.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, like especially people that deal in brand new merchandise, they scan UPCs because they can search the items and things.
Okay.
We could probably, I can't guarantee this, but I think it would be pretty easy, and I won't guarantee a date of it, but we could create a column for the UPC barcode, and then possibly have, like, if they scan that, it would add the UPC into the system. That would be easy enough. But I don't know if it's going to add the rest of the information, because it would have to crawl from somewhere to pull that. I mean, if he means filling the columns, right? Like filling in the rest of the information.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry, send me an email. I know you've emailed with me, Jerry, after the video. Email me and I'll talk to you about what you're trying to get at, and we'll discuss it. So Pam asked the question, if you get a bunch at once, you're going to have to do it one at a time. I've discussed this though. If, I'm using Reseller Genie and I buy 200 shirts at one time, I'm going to insert it as one purchase. It's going to put $200 in inventory costs. And then as I sell the items one at a time, well, no, because it would want to sell it all at once, wouldn't it? It would.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you would have to input it. Stephanie asking, a couple people asking this. A lot of people I have buy bulk purchases. Mm-hmm. Laura's asking.
Good point.
Yeah, so I think that that's going to be something that you take on a case-by-case basis. The fastest way to get it in would be to use the inventory loader. The question is just getting your data right. So if it's 200 of the same item, you can,
very quickly
Yeah.
copy and paste.
Copy and paste it in. So yeah, I think the answer is that you'll be uploading it in if you have a whole bunch, and the way that answer is going to play out is going to depend on your situation. So
yeah, I think if you don't want to input it one by one, what he just said is, I think what he's getting at is you're going to list this stuff on a platform. And so let's say you bring home 200 items and you list like 30 of them today. You could list the 30 and then import those 30 using the import tool.
yeah.
And then you would break the cost into those 30. Like if you paid $2 a piece, you would just assign the purchase price $2 a piece for all of those and just import it. So you're not going to do double the work. You're not going to import everything line by line by line into my Reseller Genie and then go list it. List it first, and then as you list it, then import it into the system. That way it's really quick and you don't have to do it one by one. So that would be the quickest. What about the older death pile? How do I input them without? You don't need UPCs, Mindy. You can manually input the items if you have a pile that you purchased a while back and you want to add them to the inventory. You can just manually input them. That's what I would do. It can be used for all types of inventory, not just clothing.
Yeah, so we've got all the Poshmark and eBay categories. So Poshmark is kind of limited, but eBay has got everything.
And also, I noticed that somebody asked a little bit earlier, and I know that Casey already shared this, but our software is compatible with every selling platform out there. We just have the automatic import function just ready for Poshmark and eBay currently. But with everything else, it's compatible. And so, basically Mercari has all the categories that eBay does. eBay kind of covers everything. So whatever you're selling, most likely we have it in there.
Yeah. So you can definitely use it for anywhere that you sell on Amazon. You're just putting in inventory and sales, but the auto import tool is only eBay and Posh. So if you are on the other ones and you want to put in inventory, you'd have to manually do that. Although I'm sure that Paul's going to work on that going forward in the future for other platforms eventually. So I know I'm putting him under the bus. It's okay though. He's good with it. So I just saw one other question that was really good. Oh, multiple quantity listings.
Yeah, so I mean, probably the best thing to do with that is you enter one of those listings, and then you copy that into the loader for however many the quantity is. So it'll be in your inventory tab. It'll be a line for each listing.
Yep.
But yeah, once you put one in, you can get the rest.
So in other words, blue T-shirt, and then if you bought 5 of them, you can just duplicate that exact line item 4 more times. So pretty quick. And we actually kind of looked at that on the tutorial. So the next screen share that I'm going to pop up here is going to be, this is the current tax rate. And so this is actually where you can set my Reseller Genie to give you an estimated tax due based on your sales and profits. And so it'll be on your screen where it'll actually show you, like we just put in 25%, just a number that we pulled out, which is a pretty good number. But that 25%, if you had done $1,000 in profit, it's going to say, your tax liability is $250. Now we're not accountants. Paul's brain works like one crazy. But this is just an estimate. Of course, take it to your CPA and get all that. But it's just going to give you an idea to keep an eye on where you are. So you have a general idea of, all right, I need X amount of money to pay the IRS. Trust me, it's always more than you think. At least for me, it is. So that's a cool little feature. For me, I'll probably disable that feature because I don't want to see it. No, don't do that, guys. Keep an eye on it. So I got a letter from them, by the way. Everyone saw that video, I'm sure. So this screen is the removal. So the exact opposite of what we just saw. You can manually edit, manually remove items. We've all had that moment that you go to the garage, you can't find a sweater, you can't, or you found it and you end up finding a hole in it. It's in your inventory and you're like, oh my goodness, I got to get rid of it. And so this is where you can manually delete or manually remove items. So that's always an option as well. That's one of the screens. The next one is, this is a really great feature that you guys can thank me for later. But I had Paul add this at the last minute. And inside of the sale price, so this is the manual sales enter where you will put in the sales price. and transaction fee, like Posh takes 20%, your shipping cost if you had a label cost, what sales platform you actually sold on, and then the sale date and the sales state. Now, this is important because we added this because, as everybody knows, sales tax is collected across all the platforms now. So you can actually choose the sales tax percentage and responsible to file and the sales state. So for me in Florida, eBay is still not collecting sales tax on our behalf. So if I sell something in Florida, my current rate here is 8.5%, and I could fill in Florida 8.5% and responsible to file yes, because eBay hasn't taken care of it for me. If you had a sales tax amount collected that eBay is taking care of for you, you could put no. And what's really great about this, you'll see in the tutorial, anytime that you put no, it's not going to add it to your tax liability line. There's a line that will tell you how much you owe. And so for me, when I fill in yes, it's going to total all of those yeses up. And at the end of the quarter, I pay sales tax quarterly here in Florida. It will tell me you owe $190 in sales tax. And so that is a feature that we literally added 11th hour last week, and you got it done in like 2 days. It was incredible. So a lot of people asked about tracking sales tax inside of an inventory management program. Boom, there you go. And so are you proud of that feature? I'm pretty proud.
Oh yeah, I'm excited.
As soon as I told him, I saw his heart drop. I was like, Paul, we got to have sales tax. And he's like, let me get back to you on that. Let me work. And then literally like 2 days later, you had it. So Mindy only sells eBay and Posh. It's perfect for you. The expenses go on here someplace. Yes, absolutely. I've got expense screenshots for you in just a second we'll get to. Is the cost of the program a one-time or recurring? Great question, Drake. Go ahead, Paul. You can break that down.
Yeah, so it's a one-time cost on our website. And if you use Rockstar Flipper's referral code, you'll get 15% off of the cost.
Yep. So that should all be down below. My mom's in the chat. Hi, Mom. She always comes in. Yes, Mom, we know. Anyways, yeah, so down in the description box, it has use discount code Rockstar Flipper, 15% off. It's right below the link. That link is the only thing linked down below, and also their email address directly to them for support. So make sure you use that, and it's one time. So you'll get that 15% off, and it is yours. You will get an email with all of your information. It will have your download. It will have your password that you're going to need to get in. The very first few minutes of the video will show you how to get that all set up and running, and you'll be how to go. Okay, so let's move on so I can show that expense screenshot. Also, who asked that? Mindy did. How to manage the refunds in the program.
Yeah, so that's going to, again, be a case-by-case thing. Like if you're doing a refund where you get the inventory item back, probably the easiest thing to do is just back the sale out and leave it in inventory.
Yeah.
But if for some reason you had to refund the customer and you didn't get the item, then you'd be recording that as, lost, stolen, broken inventory, and that would get put into your expenses.
Yeah, so that's generally what I do across everything that I've done. I typically will do an expense on it. I leave, because here's the reason why I do it. I leave the purchase and the sale exactly as it is, because PayPal doesn't take out, or at least PayPal didn't before. Now on managed payments, I'm going to have to look into that for this year. They didn't take out the refunds out of your total gross 1099s. So like, let's say you had two sales. One item was 100 and one item was 50. And the $50 item came back, your gross 1099 still showed 150 sales. And so I left that there so that it would match up. And then I would insert a new purchase for $50 to buy that item and put it back into inventory. And so that's how I did it. And I would know immediately, like, okay, they were all my purchases. I would always mark them as like purchase, and I put a note like refund purchase. It doesn't happen often. I mean, I sell a ton of items across the platforms, and we might get one item a month back. On a bad month, 2 items. So it's rare that it happens. I mean, it's not bad. You guys are welcome to, if you want to back the sale out, just know that if you're still on PayPal, they don't take your refunds out of your 1099, your gross amount. You need to account for that. So does that include any updates in the future to the program?
Yeah. So what we've been doing is sending out updates for free. So I mean, we'll see moving forward with where we grow if that changes. But yeah, updates are included
for right now.
For now, yeah. For the foreseeable short time future, there are some plans and some growth that could happen, and working on some things. So I'll keep you guys updated as stuff changes, but as much as we can give you, we'll give you. Okay, so the next, did I already screen? Yeah, screen share this one. Okay, so this one is another feature that is fantastic. I'll show you guys the expenses in a second. For some reason, I left them at the end. This is a cash activity and bank statements reconciliation page. A lot of you are not going to use this. I know that, but there's a lot of you that ask me for this. And I even self-admittedly am really bad about reconciliation. I know, but basically what this is, long story short, is that you can put in your business activity. Say you have a dedicated business bank account, and you can put in the activity for, cash in. And let's say that you use a credit card to buy your inventory, and you have to make a credit card payment. So then you will be able to input those credit card payments, which is what we're showing here, and it will reconcile to the right-hand side, and it should match up. So if you have a $100 input and you spend $50 on a credit card payment and $30 on a second credit card for $80, you should show the reconciled activity at $20. So it will show you exactly where your balances are coming and going. It's really, really helpful for CPAs. If you pay a CPA at the end of the year and they can see everything and follow the trail, it's pretty easy for them to see what happened. It's not a necessity, but if you learn it, it's great. This is probably a really bad habit of mine. Do as I say, not as I do, because I don't do reconciliations and I get beat up every year over it. So my CPA hates it. In fact, both of my CPAs will probably see this video. So sorry, guys.
Oh, and for those who don't know, when an accountant says cash, that doesn't mean paper. That means just money that your business owns. So yeah. My wife
like if you get a withdrawal from Poshmark for $100, that is the same thing. It doesn't mean you're physically being handed $100 bills. So that would all be the same. Lori, does it track fees? Yes. When you input the sale, there is a transaction fee line that was in the last screenshot, and you'll see it in the tutorial. That is part of that entire input when you put it in. So you will see all of that. Now let me show you the next screen share. Let me get it open for you. Hang on. Where did I leave off? Okay, so more features. I just want to run through these features really quick, and then I'll go over a lot more questions too. This is one of the shining, I'm pretty sure Paul's pretty proud of this one more than almost anything on here. And this is great. So this is your management dashboard, and it's going to show profitability, assets to liabilities, and current inventory summary by item count, and also the periods on the left. So what this shows you is kind of an overview and a breakdown. This screen is very zoomed out, but you can get into really high detail, which I'll show you another screenshot in a second. This will actually show you. So on the right-hand side, this pie chart thing here is a blue section of women's. So this person has, I don't know what the percent was, but it was like 80% women's category. And then men's category, 15 or 16%, and then kids, 2 or 3%. So this actually shows you what percentage of your inventory belongs to which category and subcategories almost. The profitability to the top middle here is pretty self-explanatory. It's broken down by periods, and it gives you your cost of goods. It gives you your total sales, and then it gives a gross profit and net profit. And so those are the green, white, blue, the different colors you can see there, the graph, and then the chart, the lines behind it. So you'll be able to quickly look when you open this up and see those numbers. And then under it, you have an assets to liabilities. And this is your total inventory versus your income tax liability, that screen I showed you a few screens ago where you can set the estimated amount, and then the total sales tax liability as well. So you'll be able to see, versus how much cash you have on hand, how much money you have, how much inventory you have, and how much you owe. Now, these are, of course, approximate as far as the tax liabilities go. So keep that in mind, but it gives you a quick glance to see where you are, if you're really, underwater or really above water. And then you can change it to view the periods here. the left side. And so those are 001 is like month 1, month 2, month 3, and that covers that part. So Paul, that's your kind of your section. So if there's anything you want to add to that.
Yeah, that one's all about just seeing high level, how's your company doing? And Casey mentioned periods. It's really nice because you can filter out periods to do a side-by-side comparison. So if you wanted to see how did I do in November of this year versus November of last year, you could do that really easy.
Yep, and in the tutorial, we do go through that at near the end. So Crispy's Toys and Treasures, great question. Is it linked to your accounts?
Great question. Yeah. So after you do the initial import, you maintain the data moving forward. So you enter your inventory. When you get a sale, you record the sale. The reason we do it that way is just because so many times when you have things being auto pulled in, it doesn't do a good job of accurately pulling the information in, because there's always things that the programmer can't predict happening. So that's why we do it that way.
Nope. Yep. And so as I'm going to get this question, I already know it. From the safety standpoint, you are not logging into Reseller Genie with any of your accounts or passwords or anything like that. You're going to save the reports, if it's eBay or Posh, directly off the websites. You're going to save them to your computer, and then you're just going to upload those reports into Reseller Genie. You will not link them in any way. It's completely safe. You don't have to put up your password or anything like that. So great question, Crispy. Appreciate you putting that up there. All right, let's go to the next screen share. Where'd it go? Okay, so this is again on the sales analysis dashboard. Oh, let me get rid of Myra's comment. There we go. Okay, so this is a more detailed, zoomed in view of the previous screen that you just saw, where we were able to click to see the profit and sales detail. And so in this particular screen share, we had this separated by men's, women's, and kids. And so you can see the men's profit number way down here. I think it's probably in the 3,000 range. And then the women's all the way up there at like 18,000. And then the kids down there almost non-existent. So you'll be able to see like, wow, I make a ton of money on women's clothes, but I don't do so much on men's clothes. Now, I know a lot of you are going to know this off the top of your head, but to actually be able to see it in front of you gives you an idea of exactly where your money is coming from and where your sales are. And also more in detail, again, to the left, you can adjust this by the submenus. You can do platform, eBay, Posh and Macari is what we put on here for these people. And you would be able to select or remove these platforms and just see it each one by one. Or another great thing is you can do what Paul said. You could choose 2 of these and you'd be able to see like almost a comparison of those 2 platforms. And then you have all the different options of periods and departments and all of that. And then at the bottom, we can see a total sales and average sales price per day, average days before the sale broken into 130, a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, etc. And then gross profit by days on the platform. And so you get all of this information, which we go into detail during that video. This is what I was probably, when I saw this for the first time, was most impressed with about this, like being able to see that kind of detail. I don't have a screenshot of it, but we're able to pull up like jeans. Literally just look at jeans and see how much money came in from jeans. How much money did I sell in jeans in just January, February? You can see, Paul used this as an example with me, like selecting the period and seeing that the jeans across 12 months in the fall, when we would expect it, are way up here, and during summer, they're way down here. And that was kind of like, that was the eye-opening moment for me where I was like, look, this is awesome. I can see, what months to sell stuff in. A lot of you guys talk about the seasonality. You talk about when to sell stuff, when to raise prices, when to lower prices. So that'll give you kind of that information, when you can max out your profit and when you have to say, all right, we've had it, it's summer, let me drop the price a little bit. So if you have an item listed on multiple platforms, do you enter it on a single line? Yes, it's just an inventory tracker. So it doesn't matter how many platforms it's on. Can I enter a report if I'm drop shipping? Drop shipping, if you don't have the inventory in hand, you wouldn't need to put the inventory in. If you did make a sale, then yes, you would input the sale just like you would anything else. any of your costs and fees, and you could just input that because you don't have any inventory costs. So there's nothing for you to put down if you're drop shipping. Because I drop ship on Shopify, so this is something I would use that for as well. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, what was the next one that I did? Okay, so that is the screenshots there. So I know somebody asked about the expense for the transaction fee. So let me pull that back up. One more screen share here. Okay, so the expense that you would have for the transaction fee, when you input your sale and the sales tax, you can see that there's a transaction fee line and there's a shipping cost line. So if you bought a label, we're gonna just take eBay for example. Remember, you are buying the label, that is your expense. And so that is what you have to put in. And obviously on Poshmark, you don't have to do that. Now, if you give a shipping discount on Posh, I know some people, there's a back and forth on this, and maybe Faith can tell me how she does it, but some people say they put it in as a shipping expense, and some people say they just reduce it off of the actual sale price. I've given up arguing this back and forth because honestly, I don't know if I know the right answer to this. I asked the CPA and they didn't even know the answer. So sorry, Mark, I threw you under the bus, but I always just put it in as an expense. So, because I'm now paying for $1.59 of the shipping label, how do you do it?
Yeah, basically just combine any transaction and platform fees. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I usually expense it as shipping cost.
Yeah. I put it in as a shipping expense. Perfect. Will it show you what platforms it's listed on? It's not going to show you, it's not going to display what platforms it's listed on because it's not important. The only thing that's going to matter is at the point that you sell it, that you put in what platform it's sold on. And somebody just said, can you add any platform that's not there? Yes. There's a drop-down menu when you do this, the sale, and actually before the sale, you can add a new platform. And then when you input the sale, you will select the drop-down and choose the sales platform. So you can put any platform in. Just know that the only two that will auto import are from your sales reports are eBay and Posh currently, which is also what Drock just entered. Yes, manually inputting sales for any platforms that are not eBay and Posh. eBay and Posh, you can auto input your sales reports. Now, I know that some people, and Paul, talk about this a little bit, because I have some people, it just came to my mind, that don't input their sales every day, or even every week for that matter. And I used to call them lazy, but I kind of corrected myself. What they'll do is they'll wait to the end of the month and they will download the report. And then they used to go off of a whole month's of sales expenses. They could then, if you wanted to do that, you certainly could, and then upload it all into my Reseller Genie every month.
No, so actually, because you need to track the items from inventory into sales, if you were to upload a sales report from the prior month, there'd be nothing to clear those inventory items out.
Oh, so you can only do it once.
Yeah. So the idea is to stay on top of it so you have real-time numbers. Because that can help you, like, as you're thinking through, like, okay, what are my sales goals for this month? You can see every day, or if you want to do it every week even, you could see every week, okay, this is how I'm doing.
Yeah, so, okay, so that makes sense. I got it. I just had to break it down in my head. So you will do an initial sales import for eBay and Posh sales if that's what you choose to do and not manually. After that, though, you will have to manually do it because your inventory has to line up with the sales. If you tried to import it again, it would not clear the inventory. I got it. So just know that, guys, going forward, after the initial, you're going to have to manually do it.
And Casey, I was just going to say, so like, let's say that I list 10 items a day and I make 5 sales, or we'll just say 10 sales. The manual dialog box that pops up where you enter in all of your new inventory and where you record your sales, I can record 10 sales and record 10 new inventory items in probably 5 minutes. So it really doesn't take long.
Yeah, it's just a matter of being on top of it.
Yeah,
you know what? I like that better anyways, because that makes you stay on top of it. And people, they always hate me when I say this. I'm like, if you do this every day and it takes you 5 minutes, you won't even notice it. For the people that were like procrastinating for like 3 months and then knew that it was going to take an entire weekend, I'm like, you did it to yourself. I'm guilty of it. I've done it, but now not going to do it anymore. I'm going to stay on top of it. So absolutely will keep you motivated. And there's so many of you. Look, there's a lot of you guys that don't sell a lot and you're like, I only sell 1 or 2 items a day. Do I need something like this? You need to track these numbers, because even if you're only doing, say, $1,000 a month or 1,500, you still got to report. You need these numbers, and a CPA, it's going to go from costing you a little bit of money to a ton of money if you don't keep track of this. And then you're all going to call me in January with your heads cut off like chickens, wanting to know how to get all these numbers together. And don't forget, eBay, now managed payments has fixed it a little bit, but eBay doesn't go back more than 90 days. So there's no way to pull all these numbers out. My Reseller Genie is going to have everything for the whole year for as far back as you need. So that's like a huge advantage to going to eBay. I can't tell you how many people did not pull out eBay and then could not pull the numbers. They couldn't get it prior to managed payments anyways. So a reason why you have to have a program like this that will keep all this information. Thank you, Mr. Biselot, for that super chat. Appreciate that. Can you give each item an ID number so it's easier to find and remove them? Yeah, absolutely. So you're going to be able to input your own unique SKU number. It also creates an internal ID number too, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can easily search by either the internal ID or by your SKU, whatever's easier for you. You can do searches from anything, right? Like title search.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just like you would on an Excel sheet.
Yeah, Control F, and it'll search for whatever the term is in the sheet.
Yep. Cherry pick it. Would I start to track all of this in December and then get caught up and start over in January? So it's totally up to you. Obviously, the correct legal, financial, Mark would beat me upside the head if I didn't say it, answer is you need to go back and put everything in for 2020 and try to get yourself correct. If you choose to just start this now and go forward, that's up to you, and what you do with it beforehand is between you and your CPA. So it's definitely your call. Cherry pick it. It would depend too if I had to see how many items you've sold, how much data you have. But if you have a lot of inventory in stock right now, you would want to try to at least, you don't have to do it all at one time. Let's say you have 300 pieces. You want to go ahead and add those because they haven't sold and they're in your inventory. You'd want to at least get that inventory into my Reseller Genie as quick as you can, so that when they do start selling, be it now or in January or February, that they're already in the inventory. So when they sell, you're good to go. So that would be, something that you could get rolling on. Remember, right now, if you buy this, you own it and you can do it at your own pace. Do 20 a day, do 30 a day, whatever you need to do. So, can you use this to record sales at a local show? Cons. That's a great question, because I have a lot of flea market sellers, Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, absolutely. So do you want to talk about consignments?
Yeah, so I actually take a bunch of inventory that I get free from folks, and if I don't want to take the time, let's just say that if it isn't a higher end item or worth my time to resell, I will take it to my local consignment shop, and I get a 50% cut. I just record that just like I would, if we get a sale from Poshmark. If you want to itemize each of those sales, you can, or you can just put it in the bulk purchase. So I'll get a payout from this consignment store once a month, and I usually just do one line item with the payout that I got.
Yeah, so you would just create a new sales platform that says like conventions.
Yeah.
Or if you even wanted to itemize by convention, you could put it in as a new sales platform and then record those sales after the fact.
Yeah, so that's great, because we sell on Shopify, and so like I mentioned earlier, we don't buy any inventory. Some of it's consignment, some of it's drop ship or wholesale. We do have some of our own wholesale inventory, but I would create a new platform, Shopify, and then when I make a sale, I would put in all that information. Yeah, Mr. Biselot, rewind the video, but there is an auto import from eBay and Posh, absolutely. I just saw one other good question. Oh, is it replacing QuickBooks? And so this is a question, a lot of my users have GoDaddy and QuickBooks. I would say 75% of everyone that watches me that has a program uses one of those two. There's, people with notebooks and spiral pens. Oh my goodness. But of the people using those programs, look, I've been a QuickBooks user for probably 10 years. They're an accounting bookkeeping program. QuickBooks and GoDaddy are not made for inventory. They're not. They have some options. Don't get me wrong. There are some available features. They're very expensive. So to give you an idea, I don't have an inventory. I pay for QuickBooks Online and it's $200 a year or $225 now. And that's with no inventory. If I added inventory options, which I don't even know if they're good or what they look like or if they have any kind of details, it goes up into like the 300 to 400 range for the year. GoDaddy's a little cheaper, but GoDaddy has, as far as I understand, no inventory option at all. I'll have to call a couple friends, but no inventory. And so that's the difference here. It's one thing to track your numbers in your accounting, and they're great for doing that, but you got to have some sort of inventory to know what you got going on, and that's what they don't have. So the answer, Cherry Picket, to replace them, it's not a replacement. It's adding everything. I guess it is a replacement, but it's doing what they don't do for the inventory and at a much cheaper price as far as QuickBooks is concerned. I love QuickBooks. I'm a huge QuickBooks fan. But if this is going to do everything that I need all in once, why would I continue to pay, probably it'll be $250 next year for QuickBooks? Why would I do that? So
one thing I'd add into that is really for resellers, the majority of your business is handling inventory and sales, which is what this specializes in. Any other business costs that you have, currently we just have that aggregated. So if you kept a separate Excel spreadsheet with your expenses, you could just total those up at the end of the month and put them into Genie to get your numbers spit out. But we currently don't have anything to itemize those other expenses. So we just take care of most of the business, just not all of it yet.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there's definitely, like I said, there's going to be updates, and we will, as much as we can, keep you updated on what's, changing and growing as it goes through. Somebody asked for the link. It's down below this in the video. I know some of you watch me on TV. I don't watch YouTube on TV, but they said it's really hard to get to the description box. If you can't see the description box or get to the link, email me, rockstarflipper@gmail.com. I'll send it to you. And the discount code is just rockstarflipper, and it's 15% off. So if you can't see it or get to it, please let me know. You can message me on Facebook or Instagram as well. You guys know I answer all those. And I'll get you the direct link over to it, or watch it later on your phone or on your tablet or something where you can see the link. So that's down there. Okay, so how can you input for the whole year if eBay only goes back 90 days? So that's a great question Christine had, and this is somewhat of an issue. I have preached this to you guys for the better part of 2 years. You need to download eBay sales reports every month because they go away in 90 days. So today is the first. When I go into my room to do computer work, I will go to eBay, I will click orders, paid and shipped, and I will click the download button, and it takes 2 seconds. So if you haven't been doing that, it could be a little bit of an issue. You need to go back, grab your 90 days, and start from 90 days on up. You can, and I don't know how this would work. This is something that I thought of literally 5 minutes before this show. PayPal does go back that far, but PayPal is not going to have the categories, subcategories, and all the information you need. So what you could do is download the PayPal report and manually input them. You won't be able to auto upload that PayPal report. So if you haven't downloaded your eBay sheets, that would be your only real option at this point. It's a bad option, but it's better than nothing. So that's what you get for not downloading those sheets. Yeah, that's all I can think of. I don't think there's any other solution for that. I thought about that.
And unless you have all that inventory listed on Poshmark, and Poshmark will give you, for as long as you want. But a lot of people I know are just on eBay or don't have everything cross-posted to Poshmark that they're selling.
So that would help you get the inventory. If you do have it cross-posted on both, you could pull the inventory. There's not going to be any way to recover that eBay sales information, though. You literally have to go to PayPal, and then you're going to have to manually enter it. So, okay. So that is, am I for hire as a reselling coach? Every once in a while. Give me a few months, though. I barely have time for that. Okay, let me make sure I didn't. Facebook Marketplace, Gina, yes. Any marketplace you sell on can be manually added. And then when you make the sale, you'll choose that marketplace. So Crispy getting it tonight. That sounds great. If any of you guys get it, here's the other thing. I almost missed this out because we're going to have to wrap it up soon. But if any of you guys buy my Reseller Genie and you use it, not now, but maybe in a month, at the first of the year, January, February, We would love to hear your experience. Please document it. Let us know what you think. Let us know if there's any problems or suggestions for features you want to add or things that you want to change. We can't guarantee we'll do any of it, but if any of it comes up and it looks good and it works, then we will obviously take those into consideration for sure. Lewis, it works for any category that's in there, Poshmark and eBay categories. So you don't have to do clothing. You can do shoes, accessories, books, probably everything, right?
Yep.
Yep. Mr. Buys a Lot, I know him pretty well. Could you go into monthly invoices because they go back a year or so? You could, Mr. Buys a Lot, but the monthly invoices are downloaded as a PDF. They're not going to download as a Excel file. So you still wouldn't be able to upload them, and it would put you right back in the same situation of PayPal as manually inputting those sales. So if you didn't download that CSV file every month from eBay, you're toast as far as that goes. Grab your 90 days, import it, and then decide if you want to go back and import or manually add them. So do we click your link in this video? Yes. Down below, Lisa, down below, absolutely click that and use the discount code if you want to. If you want to support us more, you don't have to. Yeah, if you guys want to make videos or social media posts, please tag Reseller Genie on Instagram. And you can tag me and I can repost it for you as well. So that would be good. Download as a PDF, Mr. Buys a Lot. Brian, appreciate you being here, bud. I know that he's got, I don't know how many pieces it is, but 300,000 pieces of inventory. I think.
Good for you. That's awesome.
It's currently on sale on eBay right now for, I think it's like $1 million, the entire inventory. Yeah, pretty sure. If I could get it from Pennsylvania to here, we considered it. No, we literally considered making him an offer, but probably kill myself over that. Yeah. So do we have to keep up with the taxes eBay collects? Doris, great question. I did cover this if you joined the video late. As part of the input for the sale, there is a tax, sales tax input number. So you can absolutely put that in there and you can put your state and your percentage. And if Rita just mentioned it, it's at the beginning of the video. This does require Microsoft Excel 2019 or newer, or Microsoft 365, Office 365, which has an online web-based subscription. Windows or Mac computers, you can subscribe on there. If you have a Windows and you already have Excel, and it's newer than that, then you're good to go. If you're on Mac and you bought the Mac version of Excel directly from Windows, it's very expensive. I don't know any Mac people that buy it. But if you did and you have it, then you don't need the online one. But the online one is probably the easiest. Brian's at 161,000 listings. There you go. So, and 3 million items in the warehouse not listed. And that's a complete fact. I've seen it. It's insanity. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Doris, if you were late, no problem. You can just rewind the video and you'll be all good. But yeah, the input of each sale manually going forward is correct, and you can import the initial one. So you'll be all set. And if there's any questions or problems after this video, please don't hesitate. Reach out to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leah and Myra, thank you both so much. I appreciate that. Looks like Leah got it just now. So yeah, let us know, document your journey. Show us, if you want a video or screen record it or video it with your phone like that. Let us know, how easy it was and any issues or things at all. Please do not hesitate. Please, please, please.
Oh, and also forgot to mention, if you do not have Microsoft Office or Office 365 yet, they do offer a free 1-month trial. So there is that.
There is that as well. Yep. So 1 month to get it, but you will have to have it after that to access it, or you won't be able to access it after that. So keep that in mind. Rita, no, we appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for asking for this for the better part of forever. And shame on me for not, doing it sooner. Shame on me. So, but it worked out great. My email box is going to be full. I know it. So I will get to answering those. Is there anything else you guys want to add to this video, or I think we covered? I can't think of anything else to add.
Yeah, that's pretty comprehensive. Yeah. And like Casey kept mentioning, there's a total video tutorial walkthrough when you first purchase it. And a lot of questions that you have getting set up will be answered in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me and Paul sat down. We recorded 1 hour and 50. I barely cut anything from it, like maybe 5 or 10 minutes out. So every single thing. If you watch the video and you can't find something, either email me as well and I'll tell you what part of the video, or I'll just answer it for you directly. So you'll be all set. And we look forward to everybody grabbing it. Use the code, use the link. Please go get yourself in line. It's the most important thing you can do for yourself. You won't stress anymore come tax time. Sales tax time covers both, and you'll actually feel good. And trust me, when you feel good about your accounting, you'll put more effort into working because you're not thinking about your numbers all the time. I assure you that's one of the Debbie Downers of everyone's reselling world.
Mm-hmm.
do press the thumbs up because it'll give this video better coverage and people will be able to find it that actually need this this program. So thank you for reminding me of that, Mindy. YouTube fail there for me. I'm gonna let him go. I'm gonna get back to work and answering. I already see my email box blowing up, so this will be fun. But I appreciate you guys watching, all of you that joined. And if you're watching this anytime other than 6 to 7 p.m. on December 1st, it is recorded. And you can leave comments down below that we will read and I will check on every day. That's it. So thank you, Paul, Faith. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thanks, Casey, thank you all.
Thank you, guys.
All right, we'll see you guys next time. Oh, by the way, my friends over at Flippin' Hippos, Keith and Star, are live. Just Star. She's live right now, so I'll link her YouTube video if you guys can go show her some love. We love her, and she's live right now as we get off. So, all right, guys, we'll see you next time. Bye.
All right, bye.